Well, if we could look back at 2009, obviously Audi losing their stranglehold at Le Mans. How was that for you? I mean, obviously, clearly you work pretty hard to achieve a win whenever you can.
Yeah, I think the thing about Le Mans is it's once a year. It's like a World Cup, effectively, in the motorsport terms. And so you work and plan from the previous one. So it's a year's work. And if you're successful, you're spraying the champagne for a year. If you're not, then you're going home licking your wounds and thinking how you're going to do it. And we've had such a dominant run there in the past, and especially after 2008, where we won against all of the odds by doing a perfect job. In 2009, we were caught out a little bit by having some incidents in testing and weather and things like that, all of which in normal years would have probably been able to get around. But this year we weren't, because the competition level was very, very strong, and they did a perfect job. And now to win Le Mans, you've got to go flat out, absolutely flat out, for 24 hours without mistake, or you will not win. And this year we had a couple of mistakes and a couple of problems, and we didn't win. But we finished third. We won the Sebring 12 hours at the beginning of the year, the first run with the R15 TDI. And looking into 2010, we've done everything in our powers to make sure that we return to glory. But we're also just looking forward to that first challenge again with Peugeot and also the other teams when we get there.
Does that reignite the fire? Because you've had such a domination for so long, then it's taken away for you, and then you think, no, I want that back.
The day that it doesn't reignite the fire is the day you should stop. And I have to say that probably 4 or 5 hours into the race at Le Mans, we knew, it was not unfolding in our favour. We were actually dropping back at a worse rate than we had been the previous year, and so we knew we were in trouble. And I remember having a conversation with the bosses of Audi and the Volkswagen group, not our Audi Sport people, about how we would fix this for 2010. And so the fire was reignited even during the race of how are we going to sort of turn this around and make sure it doesn't happen again. And that was it was a nice feeling to know that we had the support of the big bosses, and that they were sort of living the glory but also living the pain with us one-on-one down in the pit lane.
So lots going on, but for this year we hear that probably one of your people that you looked up to as you were growing up and coming through motorsport was Nigel Mansell, and we hear that he will be competing at Le Mans with his 2 sons.
I know.
How do you feel about that?
Well, it's funny, somebody asked me about that the other day, and they were talking about how it's important to have, I would say, people at the top of their game available like we are here at Autosport International for the fans, for the young kids coming through, so they can meet their idols. And I remember the first words Nigel Mansell ever said to me as if it was yesterday, and that was in 1987, and I remember the position, I remember where I was, everything about it 100%. And so to race against Nigel will be quite an amazing thing. It'll be very, very odd actually, because even though he's a little bit older and he's racing with his sons and he says he's not taking it too seriously, I don't think Red 5 has ever taken a race anything less than 100% flat out. And he's really enjoying it, but I think it's a very good thing for Le Mans. It's a very, very good thing for the British crowd as well to have someone of that stature there.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to talk to you very quickly about Formula One, obviously I know you're still passionately across that. Lots of changes for this year. Sadly Toyota no longer there, but some new teams coming in. What's your view on that?
Well, I think the manufacturers dropping out, to be honest, is not a big surprise, especially the ones that didn't achieve their goals. There can only be one winner, and Toyota was one that didn't achieve it, BMW as well. And on the back of the fact that they're not selling as many cars worldwide because of the thing that happened in 2008, then it's not really a surprise. But there's new blood coming through, and that's a good part. And there is always new blood coming in. And it's a mix-up as well this year, because we've got Jenson leaving the World Championship winning team, going to McLaren up against Lewis. I think that's a battle in its own, never mind both of them going for a world title. You've got Alonso going to Ferrari, which I think that Latin temperament will really work there. And then you've got this guy called Schumacher or something or other coming back after a little bit of a layoff where he's been resting and now sort of stretching himself back into a Formula One car, because we'll all be really interested to see how he gets on against the new blood of drivers that are coming through.
So an exciting year ahead, I think.
I think there's a lot of question marks, and I'm looking forward to the first race to see which one wins it.
Okay, well, you have a good year, Alan. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.